Welcome to Fit Club Vegas, the ultimate fitness destination for visitors. Drop in for a day pass and experience our 10,000 square foot fitness playground. At Fit Club, you'll find state-of-the-art equipment and a sound system so good you'll pitch your headphones. Conveniently located 7 to 12 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, Fit Club is a perfect spot for you to come get your pump while visiting Sin City. So come check us out at 4525 West Hacienda, Las Vegas, Nevada. Fit Club Vegas, more than a gym, it's a vibe.
Here we go.
All right, so we're back. Milos, welcome back, man.
Yeah, your first place I went to as soon as I came.
Well, they said you got a flat tire or something.
Yeah, I had a flat tire on the way here. Pisses me off.
Did you just drive on it, or?
I mean, car was in the garage for a couple of weeks and I didn't realize, right? And then next thing you know,
Is it nail or?
at this point, I don't know, but I was just in a hurry. You know, I have that tire inflator. You know, that's a lifesaver.
What do you mean?
You buy that little machine and then you can.
Oh, yeah. So it's a slow leak then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tire was just slow.
Get a fix a flat or not a fix.
No, you don't want to put that. Yeah.
Patch it.
Yeah, it was just like, holy shit, I'm kind of sleepy. And then
I was afraid you weren't going to show up, but well,
we had to
tell us
miss
about
it.
your trip.
I would not miss it. Like, well, I went for a wedding, which was great. My mom is 87. Bless you.
Oh.
You know, in Serbia, when somebody sneezes, then whoever said whatever they said, it's true. You know, so anyway, it's true. You know, so he can be talking about aliens and then you sneeze, and that was the truth.
We just came back from Serbia.
So anyway, yeah.
We were just talking about my abs, so.
Yeah. When you say plural abs, you had the ab.
Hey, one's better than none.
Quite big. It's like if you lost 20 pounds, you know, God bless you, because
He's lost 20. How much you lose?
19. He says with this stupid shit like he can bench press 315 for 30 reps or something. Like, yeah, right.
He can.
Yeah, I say, send me the video.
I have the video.
Okay,
why don't you send it? Because you'll
post on this podcast 30 reps at 315.
No, not that. I could before.
You did 225.
Well, I could before 30 years ago
I
too.
did 225 last week. What? 25 times, 2 sets?
Yeah, once you just said zero.
I got
I'll believe you.
All right, so your mom's birthday or
No,
for a wedding?
Betty had a birthday, 60th birthday, and I guess in Japan, the 60th birthday is like start of new beginning or something. You know, it's significant, like most important one.
When can we take Betty to dinner?
Anytime.
So did you celebrate or?
Yeah, of course. We had like 20-something people at the dinner the night before we came. It was great. I love it.
I was going to FaceTime her, but I didn't know if you guys are awake.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wake.
By the time you text with that, you were asleep. Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's take her out.
What'd you bring me?
Listen, best chocolate ever. You guys from Austria and Germany, Lucky Mozart.
Is it liquor in it or?
No, it's not the liquor. It's like marzipan and it's like nugget to say. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Matt can't eat this.
You tried that bullshit that Lee Priest suggested. This is way better.
Yeah, Matt brought it.
We brought it back from Dubai.
Yeah, whatever.
It's pretty good, though.
Pistachio or something.
Yeah, it was really good.
You know what? Actually, I think maybe pistachio is here, too.
I was just going to say, at least like that pistachio.
Well, I don't need to pay
What a
attention.
fab you are.
I'm telling you.
This is the second time.
Am I going to be rude and?
Yeah, exactly.
Lee Priest, I can't eat chocolate or not.
Okay. I was just curious. And don't lie. Because you sugarcoat everything, you know, every time we talk about anybody.
You know what the truth is? If you go to Jay's house, he has a drawer that is
Full of chocolate.
loaded with chocolate.
I swear I don't buy it. I keep getting thrown under the bus with this because
It's there.
Angie's like, oh, that's Jay's. You know, because Megafit was just here shooting. They're like, look at Jay's drawer. I'm like, how is it restocked? I didn't buy anything.
Okay, give me the from 1 to 10.
I think it's good.
From 1 to 10.
It's good. I mean,
7, 8?
because I don't eat enough chocolate. to say.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the one Matt gave me was amazing too. But shout out,
more amazing.
What do we call this?
Mozart Kugel. Mozart, obviously, and Kugeln.
Okay, can we see this?
Mozart Kugel needs to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, Kugel. It's like around. We say Kugle in Serbia, so it's like similar.
There's so many good chocolates.
Mozart balls.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
So what else did you do in Serbia?
That was it. Yeah.
Did you speak
My
What meeting did you do?
My daughter, my sister, who is a surgeon, removed my toenails.
Yeah,
I sent you the picture. Yeah.
Should we put it on the podcast?
But listen, this is what happened, right? My father had his leg amputated back in the day, and my mother told me he was awake during the surgery, talking to the guy that was cutting his leg off. And I said, no, I'm going under. And then she was trying to convince me, like, come on, like, what the hell? I could not even imagine being awake when they're peeling my nails off 3.
So did they cut down the center?
Yeah, just like, lift it up. Yeah, there you go. Oh, exactly. So imagine if you're also being awake.
So let me ask you this. So does it grow back?
Yeah, of course. It's supposed to grow back. Like, I don't know, 6 months.
I woke up to that message.
To help your diet.
Whenever it grows back, the same.
That would be fucked up.
I know, but what's the guarantee?
Don't sneeze.
Yeah.
I have a client, Javier, that I actually sent him that picture. He said, oh, yeah, I had my two removed here in the United States, and they grew back.
I was wondering, I saw a Dennis James podcast, and it said Milos's toenails.
Yeah, it was special because
did they post
bandages. It? No, I didn't show the picture to.
So how's it feel right
send
now?
the picture to a bunch of them. You kind of like, you can feel the pounding, and maybe it's a little bit infected. I don't know. Maybe.
Were they that bad, your ingrown toenails?
It was killing me.
Really?
I was just chicken
so
shit to
every time you went to the pedicure place, they didn't get around?
They couldn't do it. Yeah, they couldn't do it.
I had one time I had to go, and they injected my toe, and they cut right down the center and pulled it.
One time in China, actually, they did it perfectly. So I was like, oh, that's great. But ever since then, like every day I train in a gym. It was killing me.
Painful.
Yeah, it's painful.
Ingrown toenails are the
worst. But I was chicken shit, and I didn't want to do it. And finally, my sister told me, okay, you're coming here, I'll do it for you. It's okay, as long as you put me to sleep. And really, when you wake up, you don't feel nothing. But you see...
that shit's still disgusting.
Actually, if I would be awake, and even if I don't feel anything, they're just touching something, and then you imagine doing it, I would feel the pain, guarantee. Because in the movies, right?
Out of all the procedures you've had done, I mean, you tore your quads.
Yeah.
And we talk about that. What's the most painful thing with the burns?
I promise you this, there was that flex equipment hack squat, and I brag about it. I could do 10 plates easily, each side, right? Yeah. Super slow. And I was doing super slow. When this thing exploded, I didn't feel any pain. 0. 1 hour later, I felt nothing. 0 pain. I can't explain it. When I tore my biceps, I was stretching. It was just like bullet through my arm. Yeah. It's like, okay.
So what was the most pain, if I asked you? The burns?
Yeah.
The burns hurt.
That was the most fucked up thing ever. Yeah. Because...
The burn pictures of me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can Google it. They were peeling off my skin, right? And I had to be awake. They said, no. They're going to have the skin grafting guarantee. And so, like, try anything and everything before that. So Charles Poliquin, my friend, God bless his soul, he died like a few days, 26th. Anyway, he put me to the hyperbaric chamber, IV solutions, 300 grams of vitamin C, not milligrams, 300 grams, whatever. But it worked. I mean, after 2 weeks, I recovered.
Too much can cause kidney stones like that.
It didn't. There was some French doctor. I don't ever remember the names.
You always talk about vitamin C for recovery.
Yeah, dude, I started taking like 2.5 to 3 grams of vitamin C a day. I have not been like, when you get sick, you can't. I haven't been 6 to 7.
That's my normal recommended dose.
Did you take a lot of vitamin C like leading up to the contest for a diet?
Actually, I increased it to 5 and even 10 grams.
I did.
If you go to 10 grams, you're going to get diarrhea, guaranteed. So you have to slowly go up.
So years ago, my uncle taught me this, and he said it's like the poop test. where you do a gram a day until you get diarrhea.
Okay.
If you get diarrhea at 6 grams, then your threshold will take 5 grams a day.
Okay.
And your immune system will always be high.
Poop does. I thought we were going to send a sample.
Yeah. But if you feel yourself getting sick, you could take 20, 30 grams and you won't get diarrhea. Your body will absorb it.
Yeah.
He told me when he was a trauma surgeon, if somebody came in and they had some type of infection that antibiotics were not working, he said they would just give you 50,000 units of vitamin C intravenous, and that was the last line of defense.
What do you mean by units?
50,000, like 50 grams,
50 grams
of vitamin C intravenous. And he said, if that doesn't help you, you're...
How much vitamin C should we...
3 grams.
A day?
Yeah. I mean, RDA is like, what, 100, 200 milligrams or something.
Not enough.
Shit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and it's not enough. It's it's water-soluble vitamin. If you take too much, you're going to excrete it.
Yeah.
What's the big deal if you have too much? If you don't have enough, that's a problem.
And I do the crystals, vitamin C crystals.
Yeah.
You just
There's all kinds of...
If you feel a cough coming on or your sore throat, like just start taking 10, 15 grams. The next day, it's just your body burns it out.
Dr. Matt.
Learning.
Buddha bar.
Yeah. Wait till I put my...
Hey, I'm gonna post the triceps photo. It's like almost Jay Cutler triceps. I wish I can say the same for me, but
Well, listen, we had some happenings while you were gone. We had a couple good shows.
Yeah.
Back to back. We had a couple of champs. Brett Wilkins for 25. He qualified, not this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up beating your guy. That is in the Mr. Olympia weeks.
Bruno Santos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm delighted for Bruno. He decided to do these shows like we didn't really plan it. And I said, Coach, you think we can do it? So we were planning Reno, but then he was getting in shape, quite fast. I said, let's shoot for the other two. One with Hunter. So that Hunter being in the show, probably that's the spot for Olympia.
Yeah.
So Bruno, it was not realistic to expect Bruno to win, but he was top 3. And then in the UK, I told him, Andrea Presti is formidable opponent. He was in crazy condition, hard to beat, but it's possible, and it happened. So he is qualified for.
That was a close.
Close battle. It was very close.
How do you think that happened? What? Because when I saw the scorecards,
prejudging was
third.
Third, yeah.
And then how
it was 3-man show. Okay, it's 3-man show, and you see, this is what people don't understand. Like, if there's 3 great guys, anybody can win. Somebody still have to be first, and somebody has to be third, right? And in the prejudging, the way they saw it, Andrea, I think, had the 9 points, and Louis
second place at
10, and he had 12. And then at night, it's not like, day difference or hours difference. There was hour and a half difference, So it's not like your body can dramatically change, but apparently, they saw some change, and
Andrea Presti faded.
Heine, I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, it was hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. And, they gave it to Bruno, and then by scores, he ended up first and Andrea second. Andrea is a good friend of mine, and, Mauro, his coach, is a great friend of mine. So it's kind of hard to, compete against your friend. But, hey, I competed with the guys.
On stage against your friend.
Yeah, exactly, Yeah. So Bruno qualified for 24 Olympia, and he wanted to qualify for 25 also, and he was so close. I mean, kudos to Brett Wilkins. He came improved. I love his physique. I think that his legs were better, a little bit more sweepy and separated. Very good condition, striated glutes, hamstring separation. I like Brett's physique. I don't know if he put tremendous amount of size. He put some, for sure. Bruno, I think, is still a bigger man, right? And I don't know if you're going to show the pictures. Yeah. I understand that Brett won unanimously. Every judge gave him first place. But sometimes when it's tight competition, everybody can give you like just slight edge. So here, you see Brett Wilkins, the quad is improved, separated, lateralis medialis sartorius is sitting all the way down. Bruno, I promise you, and if I show you here, he has always way better separation backstage before he goes on stage. And it's good here. If you blow it up, you can see it, but he still does not pose perfectly. He's coming tomorrow, so I'm going to have a chance, of course, to work on that posing. I still think that there are a few things that he can do differently. Like even look at this.
Where's he from? I know he's Brazilian. Where's he live right now?
Brazil, but
he's living in the US, right?
No, he lives in Brazil. He's so passionate. He used to be a MMA fighter.
Why do I think he was staying in like Chicago or Michigan or something like that?
Really?
I don't know.
No, he went straight from Brazil to Italy and UK, and then came straight to Reno.
Okay.
If I was here, probably he would come to Vegas. But I was.
So I've known Brett Wilkins since he was doing classic.
Man's physique, no?
He still is man's physique.
It was man's, yeah.
So he just did him and Martin did a segment on my JTV. It's on right now. And, both those guys I have a relationship with. And, I mean, they've been training their asses off in Florida right now. So I knew he was coming. I mean, he's definitely he's one of those guys that you see in the off season. You think, oh my gosh, this guy is gigantic, right? And then he comes down to the show and, surprisingly, he has pretty aesthetic physique, but coming from those divisions, you'd imagine the amount of size he's put on over the years is just tremendous, right?
He's putting it in the right places. I love his physique, by all means. And, okay, when we dissected front double, I mean, he stretches those abs. Abs look deep, which you're not going to see in an ab shot, which blows my mind, right? Side triceps, we talk about it. His abs are the most perfect abs you've ever seen, right? And then in ab shot, he didn't really show it. I kind of texted a little bit here and there and say, it's really not what you have, it's what you show, so you have to find. He's showing legs perfectly. Bruno, I promise you, has way better separation that he shows.
Well, I'll tell you, you can look at the structure, and Bruno is obviously a bigger man. You can tell how much density, how much bigger of a frame he is, right? So,
yeah. I mean,
but
listen,
Brett won more on conditioning for sure.
Yeah, that's what I say. But also for conditioning, if you measure body fat, right, and thickness of the skin, I'll say, I promise you, dryness, it was not that much different. But some people just appear, they have that natural density and the separation and tie-ins. And, when they hit the pose and they know how to hit it, right? You were master of that also. You don't have to do nothing for your legs, just how you tilt the hips or whatever and spread the knees out. So this pose, I mean, Brett doesn't have a great arms, doesn't have a peaking bicep, but everything flows. It's tight. I'm kind of leaning towards Brett in this pose. And I should be biased, coach, and say my guy wins every pose. Hey, well, what happened with Les Fred?
They're all over the place.
Yeah, Les Fred. Okay. Here, a great pose for both. I saw Bruno winning that pose because I know his lat spread, but Brett is super competitive. Again, okay, neither of them hit the legs super good. Like you can see previous picture, and I know these are the pictures.
Yeah.
But if you hit the pose, how long do you hold the pose? 5, 6, 7 seconds, right?
As long as the judge is looking.
But that's how long you should keep your separation on your legs, right? I don't get it, how they can lose it. And there was many times, like, let's say Paul Dillette, right? Paul Dillette would squeeze the legs for 2 seconds at the most and then lose it.
If that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So when you practice posing and you're supposed to start practicing, you start with the 2 seconds. Okay, that's all you can. Work on 3, work on 4. When I was working with Samson, they were literally doing 30 seconds.
Hold,
yeah. I said, okay, that's a little bit overkill, right?
Conditions you. I'm sure Rami did the same when he came. Remember the year of
Dennis James? Oh, my God.
Yeah,
it was just all day long.
But
in the pose and last out.
When I say it's not what you have, it's what you show. I promise. Bruno had I have a video I can actually share with you. Legs that I was impressed with, even like some feathers, deep. And I told him, show the legs, you can win. Don't show them, you might lose. And, so when you look at V-taper is great, abs are deep, full chest, full shoulders, full arms, triceps, hanging around. It's very close pose. I would still probably go with the Bruno on that one. It's argument. Hey, you guys are not commentating. Don't let me just be a
Go ahead, Jay.
bad guy.
What am I supposed to say?
Mr. Cherry on the top. Just praise everybody like you always do.
So you think Bruno wins this pose?
Yeah.
I don't think so because condition, like he's not showing the condition, like separation. I'm looking from the legs to the abs to the.
Brett looks more conditioned.
He looks more conditioned.
Okay.
So I don't know how you can say that Bruno wins.
Uh-oh. Now you asked for it. Now Jay's going to push back.
Okay. Like myself and you, we had a deep abs. Okay. So Brett wins here on the depth of the abs, right?
Yeah.
Look at Bruno's abs. It's lean and dry and all that. He's just not as deep. So that leaves you that impression of way better conditioning. I wish I can say.
The problem is we're looking at a picture in like one image they snapped. I'm sure they were holding it.
I'm sure they.
I mean, from this distance, I'm looking, and Brett wins this all day. When I looked at the images online, I saw it not being close at all.
Yeah.
In favor of Brett. And I know everyone said it was very close. So this guy is not showing, Bruno is not showing probably what we see when we're in person.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because everyone said it was close.
He was happy with condition. His trainer, Rude Boy, was happy with condition, right?
Rude Boy's a great guy.
But
he's got a good eye.
Yeah. But there are levels, right? And this is what I'm going to work with Bruno. Can you sit on that leg? When you sit on that leg, right, you can see some
just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's what Brad has it. I mean, Bruno has a more thickness, I think, more muscle. But again, does it really look in this picture? Again, I'm going to say here that Bruno could win this shot, but you're going to, again, tell me the same story. With there's a little bit more detail on Brad.
Brett's tanning is spot on.
I was going to say Brett's tanning.
Anyone should take tanning lessons from Brett and whatever he did.
Did you see what they did?
No.
It was him and Martin. He rolled it on.
He did.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Old-fashioned way.
I'm telling you.
I saw that. Now I was
like I did back in Romania for you.
Okay. Yes. But I used a little brush. We used a little brush. They had a roller.
Yep.
You're right. I did see that.
I saw that. I was going to mention that, saying his tan is spot on.
After what I witnessed with the cruise in Dubai, I'm terrified, and that's what I'm going to suggest every time. I'm so serious.
What is it? An extra 20 minutes to do it this.
So everyone get their Pro-Tan bottles, their rollers, and this Olympia. We should.
I remember back in the day, I was such a pain in the ass. Like I look and say, "It's not good. It's not good. Fix it here."
You know what? The funny thing is, so this weekend is 2 weeks. I would start Sunday putting layers before the
Sunday week out.
Yes.
And then wash it off.
Just stay away from the elbows and the knees. I would just make sure I got because those don't need to get covered as much.
Yeah.
And I would start letting it absorb in.
So that's your secret. That's what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day for 1 week?
With one on.
All right.
Anything else on this one or go to the next?
Go to the next. I mean, again, this is super close shot. I'm biased coach. I will go with Bruno. Probably Brett wins this pose.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look for a.
He could pull this a little more, but I mean, look at the thickness of Brett's legs. You can see more of the inner thigh, and just more hamstrings.
Well,
I'm not going to even talk about the glutes because I hate talking about the glutes.
Yeah, me too. So,
He's got bigger glutes.
If Bruno externally rotate the knee out, right, he would get the more sweep to the thigh, and then he would look, leg would look bigger. So I kind of don't like spreading your legs that far. Your feet should be closer, but then your knees should be out more. Because if you put the feet like this, you're going to be straight. If you put 45 degrees, then you get that sweep. It's just those little details about posing. It's very hard for me. I send like so many videos with instructions, but then he does the same way. So for the first time, he's coming tomorrow. I'm going to see it. And again, I promise you, his conditioning was way better if you do the close-up. So that's why probably people seeing it live, they say it was much closer. Yeah. Go to the back. Yeah.
He's tight. Just needs more glute development and just more tissue.
He has big old ass like you.
Really?
He has a super big ass. I'm serious.
Not like Gustavo had.
No, I promise you're going to see this on the side poses. He has ridiculous. But
that's a great shot for him.
Yeah, his back is.
I don't know. Brett had a little trouble with the lat, I think, opening up the lat spread from behind.
I heard those comments. I don't know. No, of course, look, this right glutes, whether we agree, we don't agree, it catches your eye, right?
Sure.
And then when it's, tiebreaker, whoever has that, he can possibly win the shot. On the thickness, on the width, look at the lower lat thickness of Bruno. It's all there. I mean, look at the goddamn calves. So I told him, make sure you show the calf, but sometimes when you pay attention to the calf, you forget about your hamstring, glutes. So I would go with Bruno, so that would make it 2-2, right?
I would go with Bruno.
Hey? It was 5. Okay. Side triceps. Okay. Good shot for both. Bruno doesn't turn around and shows more thickness to the upper body. So it kind of looks flattish. Huge arm.
Doesn't show the depth.
It doesn't show the depth. And I tried to fix that, and it just didn't happen. Okay, this is not the most perfect shot for Brett. I see him do the side triceps, meticulously, like state of the art. And in this pose, this is probably in between, so he didn't turn around, bring that right shoulder into the picture, and then show the shoulder, chest, shoulder, and thickness with the perfect flat, deep abs. And that's what kind of, Brett, you're listening, I think I already mentioned this. Abs makes you or breaks you, right? When you have that the connection with everything else, and it's 6 small little symmetrical deep abs, it makes a difference. So we're going to see in an ab shot, I don't think he showed as good abs as he could. Please don't put the picture with the perfect abs in the ab shot and then make me look like
I have no idea what's. I just screened. I just took these images.
Okay,
that's what I could find.
I watched the video, which disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, I was looking. It's not. It is not
finding images.
It is not easy finding images lately.
Okay,
here's one. Well, here, let me do this one, I think, first.
Here it is. Okay, there you go. Okay. Actually, not so bad for Brett. I actually didn't catch that. He kind of going into the pose. You see, there, he kind of forgot his legs. His legs were more separated in the other poses, right?
Who did?
Brett.
Sometimes it's hard on the abs and thighs.
Yeah, but it's 1-2. It's 1-2.
It's a hip thing for the legs.
Yeah.
It's a rotation.
But it's 2 things. Fix your legs and then hit the abs.
And then hit the abs.
But, if you move the hips forward, then you're going to lose the separation in the legs. But abs are quite good here. So, Brett, look intercostal serratus, everything is happening. If he can just, make those abs glued to the spine and deep, that would be a very good pose for him. Great pose for Bruno, too. I said before he didn't have as deep abs, but here, okay, right now, if Bruno has these kind of abs in every other frontal shot, front relax, right, that would be very, very good. So how do you rate his conditioning? blow up his abs now. You know? I see that Brett needs to blow out the air from the upper stomach. See, here, when you show the intercostal serratus, but you don't stick your abs in, it doesn't look good. You know,
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, Hadi Chopin does that perfectly.
Amazing.
Pulls it in, yeah.
Amazing how many guys can do a vacuum at this level now.
Yeah.
And how much is Bruno, like, weight-wise, height? What's his stature?
I think it's
around
125 kilos, whatever that is. 275. Yeah.
Huh?
275.
Yeah, I think so.
How tall is he?
Like my height.
5'6".
And I'm I have pictures I've told it in Jay.
5'10" or...
Remember I took a picture?
You were 5'10".
I was 5'10" and a half. 179.
5'9" and a half.
Nobody believes me. I mean, seriously.
You were a shade taller than Nick Walker. We put you guys back to back.
And let's say he's 5'2" and he was taller than me. Holy shit. Okay. So I have a shot him in. He can go either way.
That big, huh? Man, that's
yeah. He's thick.
Great shot for Brett here.
Yeah, that's a great shot for Brett.
Yeah. Bruno was not really in the shot yet, but it's good for Saru. So Brett has a combination of hashtag bodybuilding, right? Shape, tie-ins, separation, striation, everything is happening. So I think it was...
Give him the special invitation to the Olympia.
Start the campaign.
It's way too many, right?
Hey, when you look like this, man, like, and you're
on that note, now that you mentioned, I didn't think about it. Yeah, if it's prior to the Olympia, it should be.
Yeah, and he
It should be qualifier for this year. Why next year?
They stopped it.
Why?
Like within 2 weeks of the show, they don't do it just because people that could win could be from Europe and they'd fly home.
I understand, but like, it's like, it's an advertisement for the show. But come on, the guy looks like this. Invite him.
But now that you brought up the point, I mean, if it's before the Olympia, why is the previous one qualifying a week ago and this one is not?
Last year, the Olympia was a month later.
It doesn't matter when it is, as long as my thought. Now that you said it, if you qualify before the Olympia, it should be for that Olympia, not for next year.
It should be.
The shows after the Olympia, that's for next year. You know?
How about the classic division? Over 60 guys. I mean, that is madness.
CD, all these.
That's madness.
And I know judges.
Oh my God!
I say this. How can you judge 65 to 70 people? How? Somebody will fall through the cracks. Somebody will. And that's just. I've said this for a long time. I think they need to find a way to get it down to.
I think there's too many pros in general.
Get it down
making that time.
Well, I mean,
get it down to the big stage. Get it down to the top.
I think it's great the IFBB's expanded internationally so strong, but when you have that, you're exactly right. There's no way that a no-name guy that he's just gonna when you have that many bodies standing on a stage. The stage isn't big enough to hold. There's rows.
Yep.
Rows and rows and rows of guys. It's impossible to keep track of that. I don't know how they can.
Yep. I think they need to find a way to get it to where they get down to the top 15 and then go from there.
See, 2001 Night of Champions, I remember, there were so many guys that they didn't even do individual poses, but 2 guys at a time.
So who pays for all these people to fly in?
The Olympia.
Yeah.
Flight, hotel, per diem.
Yep.
And they budgeted with promoters for that, correct?
Yep. I'm assuming. I mean, I haven't asked. I don't know if it's changed, but I know in the past it's a huge.
Wow, that's a big nut.
See, I remember back when I would listen when I first started following in the 90s, they would talk about if you qualified for Olympia, you plus a guest got a first class ticket.
It was never first class.
That's what it said in the magazines.
No.
But you got to think you just drove because you were, from.
No, but there was Helsinki 92 Olympia. Those
No,
European.
no, not that.
I got the shitty old economy.
Bay, I remember them saying that you got U+1 for
No.
class.
No, U+1. I mean, you get a ticket for significant other. That's it. There was never first class. Never business class.
Okay.
No. Even European Grand Prix Tour. Of course, Jay was probably invited with the business class.
Do they stop
Yeah,
placements
change the
at
subject.
16 or?
So,
I mean, how do you? I mean,
So, I mean, look, it's still 2 weeks out. I just talked to Behruz again, and Behruz is still not invited. And it's probably not going to be. I mean, it's devastating.
flying to Mexico, we'll just take them across the border.
how many years is this in a row he qualified?
Third year in a row, So,
So you don't have him.
you
You
don't
don't
have
Antonio Burton dropped.
Antonio, the Nathan Diasha.
Yes, so that's 3.
I think one more, no? Yeah.
Who else is incoming?
Yeah.
Big Ramy, but
Big Ramy.
he wasn't
I mean, he was
necessarily
still
promoting it, right?
he was still into the picture. Yeah.
Do you think anyone else will drop before then?
No. I mean, we haven't seen Brendan Curry's
Derek,
update.
Cotty, Samson, Theo, Raphael, Martin Fitzwater, Nick Walker, Antonio Burton, Akeem Williams, Brandon Curry, William Bonnick, Behruz, Nathan, John Jewett, Mohammed Foda, John De La Rosa,
They're all in.
Hunter Labrada,
They're all in.
Noah Santos, and Andrew Jack. So 3 of
Yeah. So how many total?
Well, -3.
Yeah.
there's 19 now. So
16.
16.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
That's a good number, I think.
3 call-outs and
Yeah. Now they're going to have
They're gonna work 'em.
in-depth comparisons. Yeah.
We say it every year, man. This could be the most competitive top 10 of all time.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that
The top 6 is
competitive top 6. Yeah. Super competitive.
I
top
keep
6.
forgetting about the 90s when you guys were there.
Yeah.
When Dillette was like 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
Wheeler was 7th.
I mean, 97, there was only 13 of us. And, I placed 10th, and then 11, 12, 13 was Mike Francois, Mike Materazzo, and Charles Claremont. Somebody has to be first, somebody has to be last. Goddamn, right? All right.
that's not, I don't have that. It's just us.
Yeah. So, that's also what I was thinking. You were competing. You have that rivalry with Ronnie. And it was usually 2-man show, even though you always have to respect others, right? But this year...
Separated the call-outs, so it was just me and Ronnie.
Yeah, but he was even going into the shows. This is what people were expecting to see battle between you two. 2003,
But Dell came in for 4 and 5 and kind of shook it up. He was an unknown. I mean, remember, Gunter was supposed to be in that challenge.
Yeah,
he ended up...
I mean, I prepared Gustavo for that show. He was 12th man called out. There was 3x3x3x3. So he was not even in top 10. Yeah, but going into the show, with all due respect with the Kevin and, everybody else, right? It was a kind of 2-man show. This is literally 6-man show that any of those 6 can win. Flip the coin, something can happen, and we can analyze. We talk about.
I still think it's two guys that is like the real battle where we're imagining, let's be real in this room.
Okay, the Las Vegas odds major favorites.
Derek and Hottie.
Yes. Yeah.
But they could be beat. If
they could be very well beat by Samson, by Andrew, by Nick, by Labrada. I don't know. I was putting
Curry. Don't disrespect Curry. I mean,
Curry at his best.
You know I've mentioned lately, and you would disagree. Brandeo. You think he can be in the top 6?
Yeah, I put him in my prediction as a top 6. So
I think a lot of people are forgetting about him, just like Curry. They're disrespecting Curry too because we don't. It's kind of like what?
When's the last time Curry was out of the top 4?
Yeah,
in a minute.
I know.
20.
I know, but listen,
18.
When he was second to Ramy, close second. He beat Phil and Hadi Chopin in shape, right?
Yeah, Hadi lost the Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night
he lost.
He he was second by
Saturday night. He was pretty tremendous. He just couldn't make it to the ground. Yeah.
But Brandon is tremendous. If he fills up the legs and comes in crazy condition, it's still hashtag bodybuilder.
He'll beat one of the bigger names that.
Yeah. I mean, he beat Andrew Jack last year,
and he was in the ER 2 nights before.
Yeah. So I'm not counting him out, but
we just don't know.
Kinda. His ex-coach Abdullah mentioned that he looked like a man's physique. Like, I don't know how many weeks out.
Yeah, but
like
Kevin never owned him too.
A lot of people.
Kevin did like his 6 weeks transform. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it wasn't.
And probably Brandon has that kind of physique that he can just explode. So, I mean, if Brandon is in shape, he's contender. 2023, 2022, Brandon was a little bit too big, no separation of his quads, so that was the downfall. 2023, he was depleted, dehydrated, kind of flattish because of the hospital. It still made the, top 4. Yeah.
Very, very, very difficult Olympia to make predictions.
Yeah. Okay.
Nor will we.
Yeah. I mean, let's put the strengths. Hadi has the best combination of everything.
Yes. The least amount of flaws.
Every pose is a great pose. He's dense. He's conditioned. He's
Mr. Olympia, dude.
He's ex-Mr. Olympia. He could have had 3 or 4 Olympias by now.
On 4 right now.
Yeah, he could have. So every time when you try to, I was last year discussing hashtag bodybuilding, and it sounds really shit. Even when Big Ramy was beating him, I told Dennis, look at how wide and big Hadi looks. He creates that illusion. I mean, holy shit.
Look small next to Ramy.
No. Even when they opened up that last spread that Ramy should kill him, he didn't. So, Derek coming into this 2022 Olympia, he was 212. Nobody really counted. You kind of thought maybe he has a chance. I really didn't think that he has a chance in hell. But when he came out and opened up those lats and that V-taper was crazy, wow, okay. So, placing second to Hadi, and that's less the crazy condition Hadi that year, but bigger Hadi that, you see, judges awarded. Last year, I was, of course, in Samson corner. I still think that Samson had a better body, and he could possibly overtake them. Conditioning was still not enough to take those two. Okay? And going into this show, we're going to discuss this, whatever show was, Tsunami in, where? In Italy? Yeah.
France, I thought, or something.
France.
It was in France, yeah.
Yeah.
Tsunami's from Italy.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Samson, as you guys know. His physique, and all of a sudden he's Mr. Olympia written all over him. If he delivers, he can take it. Seeing some videos and pictures going into this show, I thought he's very much improved. And on the stage, okay, you're going to show, right?
Pacific West Injury Law. Injured? Call 602-HURT. Car accident? Call 602-HURT. Our firm is dedicated to you and your recovery.
He was not that much.
Are we seeing improved. This right now?
Are you seeing this?
I mean, look at this. Look at Samson's structure.
I mean, he's standout.
Yeah.
He's absolute standout.
I said to Matt, who's going to win? And he said, are you joking? Or
yeah.
Because I wasn't watching the retouching.
This was a no-brainer. Who is going to win? But put Andrew, Hadi, and Derek and Nick next to him. That's okay. Now you're going to have to really analyze it. For me, the best combination, thickness, width, each body part, V-taper, waist is down.
I have to go on record and just say that this is the best I've seen him in a long time. Right now,
I thought that there may be a UK version, especially that final. It was a little bit better.
I know, but I was there. But
you were there?
But Hadi looked so good. It's hard to see.
Yeah, but
this. I just think he's tighter.
He's a little bit tighter, a little bit drier.
His waist is down, and that just makes his proportions that much big. His arms are bigger in the front double. Definitely more separation hamstrings. I mean, I think the back, the lat spread was out of this world. I think the rear double can still tighten up some.
Yeah.
But all in all, this combination, like I said, he needs to be 10% better than normal to catch the judge's eyes, and he is well on his way to exceeding that right now.
Well, let's analyze. He didn't lose unanimously in UK, which means there was a toss-up.
Well, you're still looking at
even Chris Cormier said he was there, and he thought that Samson could have won in UK. And that's Hadi that came from Arnold, Ohio, looking at his all-time best. He was slightly off at the UK, and Samson was better.
They landed, I remember when
it was like 17 minutes before.
Went right to the athletes meeting, and the next day was a show.
Yeah.
Because of the whole visa issue, they had to get the visa from Houston and drive it up, and it was...
Like you mentioned, the 2020 prejudging and finals, Hadi was two different men, right? And that's how little it takes. But, so could Samson tighten up from here and then be a contender? Hell yeah. Even though you said,
well, he was
first and second already taken.
He was a contender based on the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, but you always talk about the side tricep and sitting on the abs. And
look at this, how good that looks.
Look at the leg split from the side, the striations in the legs. And
yeah, if he hits the pose like this, yeah. I told you a year ago, I seen his side triceps. He was god damn. But it's going to come down to pose by pose, how you execute all the poses. Needless to say, Samson is very confident and he hits pose with authority. And does he get most out of the poses? Okay, you mentioned something about front lat spread that you didn't like. I hope we see it. This looks good. Is this good enough to beat Derek in back down biceps? No. But
no one can, right? I mean,
no one can. I mean, Hadi needs to be way more conditioned from the back to be a contender. Mm-hmm. But even so, I don't see it.
Does this beat Nick Walker from the back?
Samson, I mean, Nick Walker is going to be
from the back. But what Samson has different from Hadi, Nick, and Derek is he has a structure that's just absurd. Yes. So that's where we always talk about it. He may not match these guys or does not need to match them exactly, but he needs to be close enough.
Yes, structure and shape, goes to his favor, right? Okay, so is Andrew Jack. Andrew Jack is actually wider. Andrew Jack looks more polished. He has striations everywhere.
He doesn't have the depth.
Doesn't have a thickness of Samson. So balanced, upper body, lower body. I'm a huge fan of Andrew Jack. We talk about this also. Arnold Classic, he out-conditioned him, but it was still lengthy. He improved. The legs are thicker, and Andrew Jack has those separated quads with feathers. Still, when he turns around to the side, he's still not convincing unless he finds the way to pose.
Lowers it right.
Yeah, correctly. Yeah, but
both these guys, the key is to their posing. Both Samson and Andrew to battle those two smaller stats.
So, I mean, back to biceps, he hits perfectly. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't have that depth yet. Lat spread, way improved. Look at this. It's going.
I mean, who can really... That's going to rival Hadi and Derek.
Yeah, I think so.
Even though that lat spread would beat Nick's, I think.
Yeah. Nick loses lat spread front and back right away. You already count on that, And I love Nick, and I'm going to give him many other poses, but lat spread. Andre Prest is super wide. Yeah, super wide. He has a great lat spread. And this is bad angle, so you can't really appreciate.
He's actually
Samson improved.
He's wider than Samson.
Yeah.
Straight on.
What I see on Samson, wider back, definitely. Bigger arms, definitely. His chest was always crazy. So hamstring glutes, there is more happening, but still not enough, right?
I don't think the lighting was great here either.
Yeah,
You're not on the line. I mean, look how far they are off the lungs. And look where the box is.
you know.
I don't know why these guys haven't figured out the lighting isn't as good as
Okay.
they move forward.
Okay. So when he vacuum, he has a super small waist, right? Lats are kind of not coming out. You can still probably do it differently. Flex Wheeler used to, never pull out the lats. But we talk about legs more separated. I had the impression from first time seeing it that legs were not as powerful as it was last year. But Milos Sarcev, the coach, was there, and he knows very well. And so, no, it's just bad footage.
He's just so dense.
Yeah. So that's Mr. Olympia body. If this is slice and dice, and it's super hard to beat.
This is
right
pretty
now
close, Milos.
Close.
This is close to
being able to.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard different opinions on this. I don't know what they're seeing, but I think they're just being a little hard on him.
I just said, Jay and I were talking.
You check. Yeah.
He checks all the boxes.
Check all the boxes.
Have to see what it looks like standing next to Yachty and a Derek and a Andrew, and then we'll know.
Now, front double biceps. Okay. Consider everybody. Who is right now for you front double biceps guy?
Andrew.
I mean, Andrew, but he has to be standing with the guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm just curious. So you say, how about front flat spread?
Andrew.
Oh, that's how the show starts.
First impressions.
Yeah, the show starts. Then you turn to the side. Now to the side, his hamstring, right? It's not really happening. I don't know if Chris is working on his posing, and they can do something, right?
And that's where guys make up ground.
He gonna probably lose those poses.
Those smaller guys, guys, mean the shorter height guys, they just look so dense.
Yeah.
And Nick Walker, think about Nick Walker.
Samson still looks crazy.
He does.
Yeah.
But Nick Walker in the side.
Samson's legs from the side are crazy. His chest is heavy. But I don't know. Nick looks crazy on the side chest, even side triceps. Hadi and Derek, they're first and second. It's going to be contention. Which way it's going to go, I don't know. But
it's all going to come
Samson
when they turn around from the back, too. If Derek runs with it.
And Nick is going to be content on the side poses.
Andrew's one guy that I think he wins 3 shots over everybody.
Who, Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ab and Ty, and
2 front. There's no one else that unanimously is going to win 3 shots.
Well,
I mean,
Nick Walker's pretty tough in shots, too.
No, Nick, most muscular.
Yes.
But Samson's
side poses.
Yeah.
And listen, his front double is not a slouch either, Nick
No,
Walker's.
not at all.
Back doubles.
I think his back double is the next best next to Derek.
So is Hadi. Wait a second. Hadi looks great in each pose, every pose.
He doesn't have
because he has the core.
Yeah.
The core.
And he can create that V-taper.
Yes.
I said that shut the lights and look at the V-taper. Oh, my God. And then he has a dance muscle. He has the better arms than Derek, right? So when it's front double biceps pose, the best arms is probably Nick Walker in the front double biceps pose, but the legs are kind of, Hakeem, yeah.
I just talk about his arms are crazy.
Yeah, I just don't see
side poses too. He had the condition guys. He's pretty thick too.
I just don't see that Hakeem is going to get the top 6 call out. If you mix him up and go pose by pose, and if you really count the poses, Hakeem Williams' side poses are crazy. Front of biceps is crazy. Yeah. But anyway, Samson has that crazy front double biceps V-taper. He was doing before Lee Haney type of front double biceps.
He's got the little vacuum going on.
Yeah.
Big arms now.
I like with that leg out.
Front double with him.
No, it didn't show it on here.
Damn.
Double
look impressive.
Yeah.
He has the bigger arms in the front double now, which I think his arms improved quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the bow in his legs. I mean, he's next to a different crowd, but
Yeah.
This thing just froze.
I mean, the pecs. No one has pecs like him.
Okay, Theo, if you're listening, you can't stand like this on the stage, you see? Theo is relaxed like he is on the beach. You know? Yeah. In a top 4 lineup, there's not the microsecond that you should relax.
No front double at all.
Yeah, they went from this straight to
Weird. They just called.
side chest. They didn't even do a front double.
I'm sure they did.
Well,
Yep.
not in this call out.
Not in this particular call.
He said he had trouble finding poses.
It is so hard to find good footage.
With Samson, I just would have this a lot tighter. I feel like he's not locking that side chest in. I mean, that's probably just this pose. I mean, who knows?
I'm sure if I went on.
It's also not the angle that judges see it. So Samson is posing for judges, not for this camera. You know?
Get some big legs, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations, Samson. I sent him a message, and I said, man, you're on that track to just shock the world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you encourage him that he can win.
I didn't say anything about winning. I just said you are on the track to.
Yeah, but he was third last year, so
I mean, he has to be thinking he can win it. He knows he can win it. He's got to go in there. Guns blazing, confidence. He has to walk out there poised and ready.
Very possible. Yeah.
I mean, I tell everyone, prepare the speech.
Oh yeah.
Prepare the speech.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's what I said to Amy last time. Yeah. I said I never had to prepare any speech.
Saw her yesterday. She was both.
Speech for thank you for the 10th place.
You have a 10th place speech?
So Martin I saw landed in town, and it's funny because, we're doing this, we're talking about Walker, but Martin was questionable champion at New York. People say, because Nick wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
So Nick Walker at 100, Martin at 100, still a time factor.
Okay, so we talk about, you said it, Hadi and Derek going into first favorites. Derek coming improved from last year
We think he looks a lot better.
Yeah.
We think based on what we've seen, he looks.
Yeah, but Hadi also showed up at Arnold Classic ridiculous, right? And he looks a little bit thicker. He's super hard. I mean, think about this. I said the same for Becruz. Becruz and Hadi can do 52 shows a year. I mean, they're that kind of conditioning year round.
Be better.
Yeah.
Each one.
Yeah. So
you think about Hadi squatting 6 plates. Did you see it?
Yeah, and he did this crazy. Yeah, but listen, back in the day, they were saying the training that made you big would keep you big, so you don't change the training before the contest, right? So you still have to do something heavy. I know that Dave Palumbo talks about it and all that stuff. I still think there is a huge risk, and Dorian Yates proved it, right? When you are leaner, when you're drier and all this shit, you should ease up a little bit,
What do you think the guys think when they see that?
I mean, I don't know. The injuries happens. I'm terrified.
I'm asking you.
The only thing that can stop him is injury, right? And when you go all out and you go 6 places and whatever else, shit can happen. If I'm his coach, I would back off. I would.
Why he doesn't listen?
Yeah, I know.
No, that's not true, though. Didn't you tell me you let someone load up a ton of plates?
Yeah, once the Chinese guy.
Yeah, the other, last year or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was an idiot. Lu Chen-Hui, right? He was doing these hack squats, and I put 12 plates. Because for me, there's a 10-rep rule. If you do 10 reps with the previous weight, you can go up. And how easy he did the 10 plates, I said, okay, let's put the 12. And it crossed my mind, oh my God, what if? So I regretted it. I publicly admitted, why take a risk,
You're in striking distance.
2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Didn't you do it with John also when he came here and trained?
Hold on.
John, from Spain.
Yeah, but Joel, John Padel.
John, yeah.
But he wasn't close to the contest, What I did super heavy was with Andre Presti last time, and then they criticized me. Why did I say with a smile on my face I put him in the hospital? I shouldn't have, Shouldn't have smile.
You training?
I can't help it.
You heard him training?
No, I mean, I push him super hard. again, you can make the exercise harder by going slower and being in that pain zone and keeping it there. I wouldn't go necessarily super heavy weight. Like when we were, benching, this guy can really bench anything you put. But okay, if you just lift, if you squeeze, it's a little bit different. So I like to see that hardness and detail. Close to the contest, the Joe Weider hypertension principles, all this shit, squeeze, the right
Did he really create them?
I don't know.
I
don't know. Yeah, but squeezing, I do think that brings the definition.
Okay, 2 dream call-outs at this year's Olympia. Tell me what they are.
Yeah, I mean, so Andrew and Samson.
That's one.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's, mano
Kind
mano.
of another no-brainer.
Mano mano. And then Nick, Hadi, and Derek, that will be. Okay.
Why those 3 guys?
They're similar height and, so you can compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, right? Height-wise. I always think that big, tall man should beat the big, shorter man.
Can we talk about Hunter's latest?
Okay. Hunter is that enigma. If he brings perfect abs, then he's instant competitor.
He really isn't missing anything.
No.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he just needed to be able to control his abs more. I don't know if that's something that can be taught.
Yeah. So I was saying this about look at the one aspect. Okay. So quality, muscle density, the separations, striations, tie-ins. He shows more than, let's say, Samson does, right? So if you show more and you kind of create the illusion of the similar size because he's a little bit shorter, arms are crazy, shoulders are crazy, back double biceps is crazy, glutes is striated.
Legs are crazy.
Crazy, yeah? So the only thing missing on Hunter would be ab control. I would keep my abs 24 hours a day because right now...
Are you posing like crazy if you're him right now?
I would.
I mean, listen, we can say that about Andrew, Samson, Hunter. They should be posing.
Samson is posing for sure. And you could see that he is in control.
It's more confident.
I'm like a hawk.
Told in the past.
Okay, yeah. Might as well, I can say now, one thing that from the first time when I worked with Samson, he showed up at 10 o'clock at the Dragon's Lair, and right away, as they point out, abs and make it or break it. Abs. If you show, you win. If you don't, you lose. And then Marlena next day said, please don't say anything about abs. And I was pretty much not allowed to say it, because it would piss him off. So if Samson is listening, do you want to hear what you need to hear or what you want to hear? You always need to hear what you need to hear, right? And abs, now that he's doing it, even ab shot, vacuum into the ab shot, side relax with the tight abs, it makes all the difference. And that can flip the coin.
This is a positive vision.
Yeah.
This is like him looking like this.
Yeah.
Even though you're not in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel?
Me not being his coach has nothing to do with me being his fan of his physique.
You always, even after the fact when all that was going on, when it was, hey, you know what, Milos isn't, it was all news everywhere. Yeah. You were still super positive about what.
The small minds think like,
I
wish him bad.
Outside this podcast, you spoke very highly of the situation. I think as time went on and all this back and forth of other people being involved, I think maybe that was disappointing because you cheered him on all the way, right? So,
yeah, I still think that he can become Mr. Olympia. I was working on that Olympia title, and he's continuing. Hopefully, he's going to reach it. He's so close. I mean, I'm a fan of everybody. I'm a fan of Hadi. I said, like you said, he could have won every show he ever entered. He could have been 4 times Mr. Olympia, But, hey, you were how many times second to Ronnie? 4 or 5?
4 times.
4 times. Okay? So close. But you persisted and you won. Hadi's coach, Hani, said version of Hadi from Arnold Classic this year beats Derek from last year's Olympia. That's not my...
Who said?
Honey said that,
Hard to make that judgment between
It's hard.
next to each other, and you can't assume Derek Lunsford will be the same as 2020.
No, I was just saying that one, but going forward, obviously Derek's going to change.
Derek's fired more than anything right now.
Especially defending the title, right? They say you're not the champion until you defend it. Yeah, it was so close. And listen, those two guys trained together, right?
I think the reason Hani said that was
to fight him
from
up
the back. No,
Wait, where did he say this?
He said
at the Arnold Classic interview. Yeah.
Because he unequivocally said, this version of Hadi would have won the Olympia at the Arnold.
Retained it.
Yeah, retained it. Because
it was enough.
Hadi from the back, Derek was significantly better, but he wouldn't have been significantly better at the Arnold. He would have still won it, but then if you close the gap there and you win in so many other areas, it would have been very hard for Hadi to lose.
And we want everyone to come in the best.
Yeah.
But there's going to be
a couple,
3. Yes.
You know,
It sucks, which sucks because you're never going to ever get, it's like everyone says, hey, your best against Ronnie's best against Dorian's. I just saw this. I saw someone ask, I forget who they asked. They asked, who's the best? How would you rate Dorian, Ronnie, Phil, and Jay? And I really should be at the end. They actually said Ronnie, and a lot of people had me ahead of Dorian, which I don't think that would have been the case. My best against Dorian's best.
Well, people would say I'm a hater. Every time when I when I say something, I'm a hater. Is Dorian 93, right? Shocked the world. And Steve Weinberger said the best thing. That's he didn't look human.
Steve Weinberger.
He didn't look human, right? But then when you really analyze, freak factor, yes. What was freaky on Dorian's physique beside calves and back?
I don't know, but you can see things about Bumstead. Did we talk about this all the time?
All the time. Bumstead is a classic version of Dorian.
And you know what? Is Ramon Dino shape-wise and pretty and compared to
lines better?
Yes. And then let's touch a classic. I will not touch this classic, but the point here, I like Sean, Kevin, Flex, Chris Cormier, right? That's my type of bodybuilding. But I could see how you can beat them, and I could see how Dorian beat them.
I would have no problem taking the back seat at the end of that list.
Yeah.
I think Phil Heath is way underrated.
Yeah.
I think Phil Heath in time will still, he's going to move up in recognition as the greatest body.
Possibly. I didn't include Phil because I didn't really watch Phil. I was out of country already. But these guys, they were on the stage with me, and I prefer this. So I prefer, that's why I don't put Nick as my front runner, but he can very well become a front runner. I can only imagine that he's ripped to slice right now and freaky as can be. So if he brings that freak factor, you said side poses are his, probably, okay? Most muscular is very, very good.
He's just a mix.
Front double is how you judge it. I heard judges judging him poorly in front double biceps because of the balance. I heard that before, right? But then if it's looking at the upper body, these crazy arms, like who has that? Holy shit, right? So everything depends. It's going to be ab and thigh shot. It's not the best Nick Walker's pose because you're going to lose that. So each shot, when you think about it, they're like my top 3 favorites. And Hadi is in all of them.
That's why
always.
Hadi's always in that top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Every single one of those poses.
Yeah. I don't think we give him enough credit either.
Yeah. Hadi.
I always said this, it seemed like people look for excuses for Hadi not to win. And then when he won, they look for excuses for someone to beat him.
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm just one guy's opinion. I think he should have 4 right.
He is putting quality size, improving actually his shape, which is hard. At that height, you would think bigger. We were kind of criticizing, he was kind of boxy and wider waist, and then he showed up at the Arnold Classic with like super thin.
Unfortunately, with that boxy wider waist, when you have crazy abs like that,
like you
can't. it don't matter because you can't stop looking. You just said you can't stop looking at, like, how is those? There's no one with a better midsection than he.
The core is crazy.
I don't know if there's anyone in the whole lineup, actually, that, I mean, we can talk about guys.
Andrew Jack.
You're right, yes.
Andrew Jack can contest Hadi in that pose is going to be interesting to see. I love Andrew Jacks because of his shape, but probably Hadi's going to come more conditioned, and it's going to be the drier, slicier.
I look more.
Yeah.
For some reason, when Hadi just walks out and stands there and he does that, this thing, and it's like piano, it's like Sean Ray was. Sean Ray had an unbelievable.
Yeah. And Robbie Robinson.
Yeah.
Those guys.
You know what I love this year?
Yeah.
I can just be a fan.
Yeah. So, let's say top three is still top three from last year, favorite, and Andrew Jack is closing in. Okay. Brandon Curry, we don't know which Brandon is going to show up. If best Brandon showed up, God knows.
In the show.
Nick Walker, for sure. Okay? He's bringing that freak factor. He's not posting any pictures, probably. Rightfully so. He's going to be a surprise.
Hunter's hungry for it, and you got Raphael.
Hunter is super hungry for it. Hunter actually has everything. I said that, and maybe it was kind of insulting, which I regretted, but then again, I don't have a filter, so sorry for anybody that insult. I think I'm here to not sugarcoat like you praise everybody. Hunter has everything except abs. If he has abs and connects everything, the mix. Holy shit. Rafael Brandao, if he shows up in a condition that Aceto got him in once.
When he was 10.
Aceto sent me like 100 those photos, like, holy shit. Like Munzer kind of size. Yeah, with this exercise, he can be contested.
He has the crazy sweep on the thighs.
And separation. He didn't have a hamstring loose from back, but he has that V-taper. He is full in the chest, shoulders, so he is contender. Martin Fitzwater, you're kind of high on him, right? And I sent you that Instagram. There's not a weak pose on him.
I don't see anyone else. Like, we just called out the top. I don't know how many placings that is.
Yeah, 6 already. That's just 7.
You know who I think is going to do
7 already.
Credit? De La Rosa.
Yeah, you're right.
De La Rosa could be, but Foda is there. Foda is great. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Foda is great. If he comes slice and dice, holy shit.
The second call-out might be the first call-out.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot about him.
Martin, the only thing that he doesn't have is like peak biceps, for example, right? But every other pose, holy shit. And I know from podcasts with him, he was loading up on carbs like crazy, and he was like super full.
Crazy amount.
Yeah. So I don't know, condition. They're going to say, like, you need to be Olympia conditioned to get the attention. Maybe he's going to go for that. So hamstring glutes was super striated anyway, and being too full, his quads kind of lost the separation until he really locks in like you, that quad stump. Then
I forget about
he shows it. Yeah.
That guy has a lot of proportions.
Yeah.
What? Because he didn't win a big contest.
He won Chicago, yeah.
So that's not like one of the bigger shows. That
it was in the past. It seems like it's kind of.
I think that my guy Bruno, if he comes improved, he could possibly crack the top 10, but it's going to be super hard. Top 10 is going to be super hard. I don't think that anybody's going to come off. I really think that, Samson is 2 weeks out. You know that Samson's going to improve in 2 weeks, as he did many times. I didn't see Andrew Jack lately because I've been away, so I don't know. Is there any Andrew Jack updates?
not much.
Not much. About you hear from Kissacita.
Say nothing online.
Nothing online. Andrew Jack could be that.
Chris thinks Andrew could win it. He's not coming to place 5th, 3rd, 2nd. No, he says he's winning.
Yeah,
Hey, listen. When Chris Aceto says that, Chris Aceto had the guy that beat Ronnie and the guy that beat Phil.
He thinks Ramon's going to win too.
Okay, so let's switch to classic. Ramon is missing what? He doesn't have a structure and width of Chris Bamshad, and it was apparent that Wesley Weiser was so much wider in many poses, like from the back or from the front.
Yeah, but Ramon trained for a short period for that.
Okay, yeah, but still, condition, not condition, can he be wider? So Wesley, right, is gonna beat him on that
back double, doesn't he?
He has a crazy conditioning. He has a...
Hey, I think Wesley's going to push Chris in areas that other guys have.
Maybe, yeah.
He's bigger.
Maybe.
Which is...
Wesley has a wider waist that he manages now. I kind of made that comment. The way he was hitting that pose, the ribs were coming out, weirdly, and it didn't look good. Now he does front of biceps very good.
He's going to win it.
Of course, what are you going to say? But...
he's killing it right now. He's here.
Yeah, Chris Aceto. Chris Cormier is, of course, his coach, and he believes he can win. Hey, Brian was not out of question at the Arnold Classic. He plays fourth. We are discounting Urs also. Urs was going into the
here also.
Arnold Classic to win, and then he didn't. Urs can be crazy condition. Brian can be crazy condition. They think that Brian has the best back double biceps. I don't know.
I said this to Chris the other day. I think it was 18 or 19.
18.
He was in the crowd at the Arnold.
Yeah.
And Brian's back double
was crazy.
Was the nastiest back double I think I've ever seen. Just the condition. You saw every...
Yeah.
You know who looks really
upper
good
body
right
wise?
now? Mike Summerfield looks good right now.
Yeah, he looks very good too. There's
he's improved with weight.
There's a Spanish guy, Jose Beast, Zema or something, I don't know. Also next level conditioning. You've never seen anything like it. Like one of those Munzer kind of super dry, super hard. It is going to translate on the stage. I heard that Stefan guy, French guy that has a crazy physique, is actually pulling out. He doesn't even want to compete, which blows my mind.
Oh, is it?
You're qualified for the Olympia, and
he's going to open. He said, right?
Yeah, he's going to open, but why not?
Oh, you're here.
Why not complete your classic physique as you qualify for Olympia? Compete as Olympia. How about Chris Bumstead? You heard any updates?
Looks tremendous in the pictures I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one person on the planet besides Chris Aceto that thinks he's not going to win.
Chris thinks he's not going to win? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Chris thinks Ramon's going to win, yeah.
I love Ramon. And Ramon can be also...
You'll see him.
Crazy condition.
You'll run into him.
I just saw Ramon at the grocery store.
Yeah?
The other day, yeah.
Yeah. Where is he training at Dragon's Lair, yeah?
Hopping all over the place, I
think LVAC mostly.
I don't go there. Yeah.
Go there because there's not an endless amount of fans there.
Oh.
That's probably why the guys...
Okay. I'll go see. I like to always give my input on posing, Sometimes they take constructive criticism and try different angles, and all of a sudden, look, I'm dying to pose with Bruno.
Tell me where you're going to be available for the fans for the
on Instagram,
weekend.
right?
No.
I know. I'm going to be at the
Expo. At the Expo.
I'm going to be at the New Tech booth from 1 to 4, right?
12 to 3.
Who? You?
Well, unless they.
I was told 1 to 4.
Okay. Well, then go 1 to 4. I told them to switch it because it's not going to work.
Really?
But go 1. I don't know unless they have it.
I mean, that's my last info.
So you'll be at New Tech.
New Tech, yeah.
Having a gym there. Is that what's going on, or?
Yeah. I think I'm
working out for the 3 hours.
I think I'm going to demonstrate. I don't know. Last time at Dubai, I took Regan through the workout, and Thanos, the men's physique guy from Korea, and looked tremendous. I don't know if he's competing. So I don't know.
You'll be there both days.
Yeah, I'm going to be both days.
I told him to move it to 12 to 3 because...
Yeah, but, so Old School Podcast was from 12. So I told Dennis already.
Okay.
And he said, okay, you can be from 12 to whatever and then make it to 1 o'clock. Thanks for sabotaging me.
Yeah. Well, no, I had to switch it that way. I'll tell you off camera why.
Okay.
Well, listen, we look forward to seeing how this thing winds up. I know you'll be happy to. Are we doing anything else with Milos Brett this week?
Yep.
Or?
Wait, I want to get you, maybe Chris, and someone else to do a legit full breakdown. Get like a round table.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And in the next couple days and launch it next week.
You mean before the show?
Yeah. Kristen Hunter's here.
Tell us,
yeah.
guys, what do you think about our opinions? I mean, to think about our wrap-ups. I mean, is Samson a contender for it? Do we agree or disagree?
Absolutely.
I know. I'm asking the fans. I'm asking the.
So you're looking at me then.
Big shout out to Fit Club, Pacific West, and of course, Bucked Up Energy for being our sponsors of the event.
Jay's Pet Butter.
Yeah, and Jay's Pet Butter. Yeah,
Fed well.
and we're keeping Matt on it.
And if you're in Europe, you're in Europe, buy the motorcycle group.
Yeah. So appreciate you guys.
To them, send us a message. We need a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Guys, let me know what you guys think. And once again, Milos, thanks so much for coming back and welcome back to the States.
Thank you for coming home.
Yeah. It's good to be home.